A month has passed. For the time being, we decided to stay put in Ganeth Haros. Even with their lord toppled, we had a long way to go before the people of Pelegion would be liberated in their hearts and minds. Lenegus hung ominously over our heads. We knew we'd need to deal with it sooner or later. We still had so many questions. The two sovereigns, the Red Woman and the Renis Alma, the present and the past of 300 years ago. Not to mention what happened to Volron's body after his defeat. Still, we were determined to keep fighting. I had my hands full taking care of everything. But in some ways I was kind of grateful to be so busy.
Are you all right? You looked like you were spacing out there.
Yeah, I'm fine. Sorry. You need something?
It's about that citizen's petition. I was coming to talk to you about it.
If I'm being honest, I think the problems of this realm's Dahnans hit close to home for me.
Oh?
You saw how things were in Menancia. We might have put way too much faith in Dohalim, but at least we could still think independently.
The people of this realm weren't even afforded that much basic dignity.
I don't know what kind of future the people here are going to ultimately choose. But whatever it is they decide, I want to help do my part so they can make that decision of their own free will.
You mean like how the Dahnans and Renins of Menancia chose to remain committed to coexistence? It'd be nice if this was a step towards that dream.
That's another issue altogether. At the very least, I want to believe all our hard work will pay off in the end.
Yeah. I guess we can only focus on what we can do right now and take it from there.
I'm going to go on ahead. Would you mind talking to Shionne for me? Once you're ready, we'll meet up at the castle entrance like usual. We can talk more there.
Right. Got it. Shionne's been hanging out in the observatory a lot lately. Let's see if she's up there.
Is something going on?
Sounds like it. Kisara wants us all to meet at the castle entrance. Taking in the view again?
Yeah. Looking at the scenery helps take my mind off things.
Like what?
Being a maiden, whether I really am a descendant of Naori, those kinds of things.
So, are you mad at me?
For what?
I destroyed the Renaissance, right as you were about to get rid of your thorns forever.
Why did you destroy it?
When I saw it appear in front of me, it reminded me of what happened back on Lenegus. And the rest was... it was all just a blur. I'm sorry.
It must have been a pretty terrible memory. Besides, we don't know that the Renis Alma actually was destroyed. For all we know, it might have disappeared with that red woman.
If so, then why are
Don't.
you...
It's okay. You brought me back. You got me away from Volron. That's enough for now. Let's get going. We shouldn't keep everyone waiting.
Hey, Shionne.
Don't.
Okay.
I'm sorry. But if you come any closer, you'll only end up getting hurt.
Because of your thorns, you mean? Trust me, I've endured...
No, that's not it. You don't understand, Never mind. Sorry, just forget I said anything, okay?
If it isn't your thorns, does that mean there's something else?
It's just... It's nothing, really, okay? So you can stop asking me.
Okay. In that case, I'll see you up ahead, okay?
Oh, it's you two. I suppose that makes me the last one, then.
We better get a move on or else we'll never hear the end of it from Kisara.
Right you are. A month has passed since we vanquished Volron. I would have thought that the Renans on Lenegis would have made their move by now. Yet they still remain as silent as ever. We have no idea what happened to Volron's body, nor its whereabouts. The Red Woman also has yet to reappear, for that matter. And contrary to what I had heard, when the Renis Alma formed, not 5, but 6 elements were present, with darkness constituting the 6th and final Master Core. Were either of you aware of this?
You mean about the Renis Alma? Of course not.
Same. I had no idea a Darkness Master Core even existed.
What about Shionne's maiden powers?
No. That was the first I learned about that, too. Or anything about having that power.
Me too. I remember thinking the same thing.
What could it all mean, I wonder? There are so many questions with too few answers, particularly when it comes to that Red Woman and her abilities.
Were it any other ability that used astral energy, I'd say it was an astral art. But hers was different.
Speaking of astral energy, we also mustn't forget that while the other Master Cores disappeared when forming the Renis Alma, for some reason the Fire Master Core remained. It may well have been the work of your maidenly powers. Alphen, are you still able to wield the blazing sword as before?
For now, at least. That Renis Alma sucked most of the energy out of the Fire Master Core, but it still has enough for me to use the sword.
And the sword is safe inside of me for the time being.
Good. At least that's one thing we needn't concern ourselves over.
You can say that again. We have more than enough to deal with as it is. Let's go.
Hey, wait up!
I heard we are all to meet at the castle entrance.
This is Ganya, who has a problem he needs help with. I was just about to ask him what that problem is.
All right, then.
I'm hungry.
You're hungry?
I did.
Are they not?
No.
Then what?
Alphen,
Oh, so you... Yeah.
do you...
I don't know.
What's that?
I had... Wait. Bringing...
What?
Everyone...
I with the people?
Are you...
Definitely.
It seems like the people here still tend to blindly...
Hey, remind me, just what exactly are we all doing here?
What do you mean? We're helping people, aren't we?
Could have fooled me. Lately it feels like everything we're doing ends up half-baked. We liberated the people of Pelegion, but their hearts and minds are no less under the yoke than the day we found them. As for Volron's cronies, we have no idea where they scampered off to.
You think I don't already know all that? We're doing everything we can, aren't we? We didn't choose to get stuck here. Sometimes you have to play the hand you're dealt. Besides, you've seen all the same things I have. You know as well as I do that deposing the lords alone won't solve all the world's problems.
Rinwell's right. We've gotten this far, haven't we? We can't just leave things unfinished now.
I guess? I mean, I didn't think we'd be singing around the campfire as soon as the wall came down, but still.
The fight isn't over just yet. At least not while Lenegis remains a threat.
I'm just sick of all this waiting. If they're gonna invade, why don't they get a move on already?
Stop that! Don't you think we've got enough problems as it is without you tempting fate? Spot something?
Oh, no. Just wondering if I could see any armored guards.
Armored guards? You mean Volron's soldiers?
The moment we defeated their lord, all those guys bolted out of there. And not just out of the castle either. The city, too. For better or worse, it was the guards who looked after the city's Dahnans. Without them, making Pelegion half-habitable again has been one big headache.
It's not like they were on their last legs. They could have chosen to stay and fight. But instead they ran away and disappeared without a trace.
But without a lord to follow, they can't have any place to go. Unless... You don't think they went to Lenegis, do you?
It's not completely out of the question. Though I'd say it's more likely they're biding their time somewhere, just waiting for the perfect moment to strike back at us.
The people here in Pelegion are nowhere near ready to defend themselves. Great. Another headache to worry about. Is it just me, or was today's dinner a little low on salt?
I felt that it was seasoned perfectly, so as to bring out the flavor of the ingredients.
Last taste buds are still like a kid's, so if his food isn't rich enough, I bet he doesn't feel like he's eaten anything at all.
Don't make fun of me! We all need salt in order to survive!
He has a point. You do lose stamina if you don't get enough salt in your body.
Yeah, I remember seeing people trying to lick the rocks back in Calaglia.
What? Why would anybody do that?
Sometimes you can find rocks out there that taste salty. They used to say it was because of all the tears we slaves shed.
Most likely, that was actually rock salt that they found. When our provisions ran low, Miguel would often bring some back for us to use. At the time, we used it because it's all we had. But now there's something hearty about rock salt I like. Even more than table salt.
Is it possible, perhaps, to find any rock salt in these parts?
It is. You have to know what you're looking for, but when I find any, I always break some up to refill our supply. The flavor even changes depending on what kind of terrain it comes from. Sometimes I end up collecting more than we need, just in case we like it.
Wow, Kisara's really serious about her salt.
You can always count on Kisara to be earnest. That's why we have to do our part and not add any more to her burden.
I feel like somebody's watching us.
Maybe there's someone...
Well... Huh? Boomy! Boomy!
Heck? Are you stuck on that? Oh.
What? That's... yeah. Look...
Yeah!
Oh?
All right! I wasn't expecting a thank you for that.
Maybe socializing with people is helping to jog his memory bit by bit. You did good, Locke.
Thanks.
Looks like we get to sleep with a roof over our heads.
You can never be too prepared. But did we have to spend so much?
I always loved the sound of hammers banging away.
Done. This is
Always good to be back in familiar territory.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hootle?
Hey, if we find anyone who needs help here,
I know.
Well, hey! Got it!
Huh? Through this whole castle?
Oh, quit grumbling. This sort of stuff's old hat for us by now.
Yeah, you've got a point, but...
It's not going to take forever, Law, I promise. Let's just do what we came here to do and get out.
Very well.
Well,
hey,
Pardon me.
Do these guys not realize who we are?
Doesn't seem that way. I must think we're just Dahnans from the town.
Whatever's going on, these are Volron soldiers. Watch yourself.
Terminate Winter! Now! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Resonate with the
Take it! Do it! Blah, 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 magic!
Hey. What? How?
So then,
I can't believe how quickly you got all those soldiers to obey you.
actually, they were abiding Renan hierarchy. Not me personally.
Well, either way, it solved the problem, and that's what counts. I know Renans tend to take authority extremely seriously, but you sure know how to throw your weight around as a former lord.
I only managed to get through to them because Volron's curse is lifting, but not to the extent that they can act independently as of yet. Considering we had other matters to attend to for the past month, we should consider ourselves lucky that nothing occurred during our absence.
But if they do start operating independently again, that's going to cause a whole new set of problems to deal with.
Indeed. Ganeth Heros is unlike Menancia. Without intervention, they'll likely revert to oppressing the Dahnans as they were doing before.
Meaning there's still a lot of work to be done in this realm. Not that there aren't problems among the Dahnans, too.
Yes. There was no way to avoid the deep-seated conflicts that had festered here. But I just hate that we had to use your position as a lord to solve the situation, Dohalim.
Had I not intervened, yet more blood would have spilled here, and nobody wishes for that.
So, what's going to happen to the Renans here now?
Why do you ask?
We've stripped the soldiers of their armor and locked them up. They can't hurt you guys anymore. I promise.
So they're alive? They're not going to die?
What?
Those people deceived us. They did terrible, terrible things to us. They made us suffer. Long before you guys came along. For years and years and years. It was constant. Never stopped. Not even for a day. So many people died. Our parents, our children, our friends. They all died. They were murdered. And it was the Renans. The Renans were the ones who did it. They killed us. Why do they get to live after so many of us have died? The bastards should die! Every last one of them!
I know how you feel, Ganya. I used to be a slave, and I hated the Renans just like you. I took up the blazing sword to bring them down. But along the way, I've met many people and seen many things. People refusing the hand life dealt them. People who have lost loved ones, but are still trying to make this world a better place. People driven by hate who stopped before it was too late. And those who couldn't and paid with their lives. And I fought plenty of people who were all too happy to make others suffer. Believe me. But after a while, I came to realize that it's not the Renans who are our true enemies.
Then what the hell are we fighting if it's not them?
We're fighting against anyone who tries to take what doesn't belong to them.
But that's what these Renans are doing. How is that any different?
Because I judge everyone by their own actions. That goes for Dahnans too. Because at the end of the day, at the root of all evils committed is an individual who committed them.
You're right, Alphen. It seems like people are either blaming an entire race for one individual's sins, or an individual for everyone else's mistakes. But all that does is add more hate in a world that's already full of it. I want to help create a society where people can finally stop suffering and move beyond their pain. But if we try to do that with more violence, then we'll just end up right back where we started in the first place.
All right. Have it your way. I can't argue with the folks that helped us get back our ability to think and speak freely again.
Is that to say you trust us then?
I don't trust the Renans as far as I can throw them. I trust you guys because of who you are and what you've done.
Fair enough. We won't let you down, Ganya.
What's the matter, Kisara? Is something wrong?
Oh, no, nothing. It's fine, really. I'm just a bit worried about what'll happen to all these folks.
Right. It'll take time before they start thinking for themselves again.
Indeed, that is part of it. However, what I'm even more worried about is what will happen to them after that. What do you think they're going to want once they realize how cruel Volron was to them?
Probably revenge.
What happened to Ganeth Harros is the worst form of oppression we've seen, but treated cruelly or kindly, slaves will rise up.
Lenegis aside, there are still remnants of Renan supremacists scattered throughout Dahna.
You mean all that trouble we went through to get rid of the Lords might just lead to more violence? That's the last thing I want to see happen.
Of course not. And if we don't do something to prevent it all from starting up again, there could be even more bloodshed for us to regret. There's still a lot we don't know about the Renan rulers. Whatever the face of truth behind their veil, it's on us to put a stop to them. But there is one thing that's clear. Whatever we do to finally end it, our motives can't be getting back at the Renans, or it'll all be for nothing.
So, what exactly is it that you're saying? That we should just act as if nothing happened?
Law's right. We can't expect everyone to just forget all the pain they've endured up until now. Not so easily, at least.
But we have to at least try to change course. We can't just keep allowing history to repeat itself like this.
Exactly. Look, I won't deny that between the crown contest and 300 years of oppression, there's a lot of bad blood between the Dahnans and the Renans. But all these problems are just too big for us to try to carry the burden on our own. We'll keep doing our part in the interim, but we need to take this one battle at a time.
Glad that work's taken care of.
I don't think we're done just yet. I want... I want you all to stick around a little longer. There might still be people who need our help.
When you think about it. Where are you going?
Since when do I need your permission to move around?
I wasn't saying that you do. Though I'm not sure why you're biting my head off about it either.
Oh, that's so typical of you. How can you be so relaxed about all this? At this very moment, the enemy is doing who knows what behind the scenes, and yet we're just sitting here twiddling our thumbs in Ganeth Harros.
I know that. But our hands are tied right now. What do you want me to do? And what's gotten into you anyway? Is there something you want to say to me, Shionne?
Look, you're right. Forget I said anything.
If I said something to hurt you, I'm sorry. But I honestly don't know what I said to upset you so much. I really wish you would tell me.
You don't need to apologize. You didn't say anything. It's not your fault. It's not anyone's fault. Not really.
Then why?
Please just drop it. I don't want to talk about it.
All right. If that's what you want, I won't push any further.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. Just don't be too hard on yourself, okay? No way. All right. Having to inform a mother her son died isn't an easy thing to do.
But if not us, then who? That's why we have to find her.
Sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
How can she think of putting her son to rest as work?
Because that's the way people were made to think about every aspect of their lives.
I know she doesn't mean anything bad by it. I know that, but...
It looks like she went out of town to take care of her son's body.
That's a...
Oh? What? Nice.
Right.
Just...
Great!
Oh.
Yeah. Hey.
Alphen! Shionne stuffing bread with mabo curry!
Now I can eat this every day.
Jeez, Shionne, you're hooked on that stuff.
That was quite the little adventure we went on.
I think it's safe to rest here now.
Judging by the stench, I'd say the animals at the ranch are all grown now.
Yes.
What?
I'm good.
Right.
That little speech you gave back there was pretty impressive, Alphen.
If you call letting your emotions get the better of you impressive, sure.
It made them stop fighting with each other, right? However you managed it, you knocked some sense into Rinwell and Dohalim, and that mother.
Yeah. I can see my decision to travel with you was well made.
What a rush! Gotta break
Fires
through!
of passion coursing
Glacial
this way.
spear.
Here I come! Flash!
Freeze
Double
laser.
demon fang!
Shattering pieces! Attack time! Bet that shell's hiding something tasty.
Do it!
No armor can stop me!
Remind me to stay on your good side.
Piercing.
Do it!
Resonate with these.
Easter!
Looks like we got them all.
What do you want to do about that big one?
Let's take it down.
Out of our way!
Fires of passion
to march
coursing
on.
this way.
Okay, here I go.
It's a doom beyond.
Take this! Flying freak! Why can't they get this skill?
Shionne, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done!
Now you see what I can do!
Denied!
Tornado blast! Elusive deity! Double demon fang!
Holy Land!
This one's all mine! Burn it out! Thank you! Now, while it's reeling!
Take it down!
Not the stuff!
Gale Force!
Lunar
Sometimes!
Elusive deity!
Dragon Force! Inhibitor surrounding! Get on in there with the enemy! Leave the enemy's arts to me!
You're mine!
No place here!
Take this! It's on!
Allow me to help.
Reveal!
Pierce through! Rising Wyvern!
I'm all stopped up! Illuminate!
Not today!
Prepare to be seized.
One more
Take
time!
this!
Here's a healing art! Not on my watch!
Dragon Swarm!
Illumination! I never miss! There you go! Don't let up!
It's wide open!
It won't escape
Dragon
me!
Swarm! Eater!
Far enough!
Water! Hear my call!
Dazzle!
Rising
Rising Falcon!
Deity!
Rising Wyvern! Soaring Light Spear!
Ready and ready!
Hear me!
Armor won't save you!
Burning strike!
Glacial spear.
Here's evil! Freeze lance! Lightning orb! Air drop!
Rising Falcon!
Why aren't you feeling it?
To stop you dying?
Ignite!
This one's mine!
Slap the shot!
Take this!
This world!
Lunar Rondo!
Thrilling performance.
Soaring Light Spear!
Don't mind if I do!
Mirage! Dragon Swarm!
Got it!
I'm almost in.
Now's our chance!
Anything in armor is all mine! Heal!
Thanks!
Now you see
Just
what I
what
can
I-
do!
Denied!
Cyanid! Watch and
Ignite! That's good!
Lightning orb! Mega ray! More with that annihilation! Blah, blah, blah.
If it's in the sky, it's
Resonate with
mine!
the earth! Demon Fang! I'm ready! Remove!
Astral energy!
Say no more! Got it!
Well done!
Am I on a roller? What? I think we've helped these people just about as much as we can. They're going to need more
Something's eating at you again, huh?
I don't know if I would say that. I mean... Actually, I guess I do have one or two things on my mind. My people, we lived in hiding, so we never really experienced the full extent of Renan oppression. Not directly, anyway. After Almadria killed my mother and father, though, I guess that's when I started hating them so much. The Renans, I mean. But then I think of all those people who were born into slavery. The ones who never even got angry in the first place because it was all they ever knew.
I hear you. Every city we've been to, it's the resistance that gets labeled the troublemakers for having the guts to do the right thing.
When it comes down to it, sometimes I wonder which of us really has the better way.
You can't let your anger eat away at you, Rinwell. But then again, losing your parents that way... Hell, who could really blame you for it if you did? I guess what I'm trying to say is... sorry. Hell, it's hard putting this stuff into words.
No, I get it. You're saying that grief and anger are different than hatred. I never thought of it like that. But hearing you say it, it makes sense. Thanks, La.
You're welcome?
What?
What's that noise?
Alphen, this is bad! Look at the sky!
Huh?
What's happening to Rena and Lenegis?
It looks like Lenegis is transforming? But into what? What's going on?
How the hell are we supposed to fight the Renans if they're packing that kind of arsenal?
It seems they've broken their silence at last. My concern is that object they've dropped into the water. It's as if they're driving a literal wedge into Dahna.
Not just into Dahna, but our own resistance too. And what's with that beam of light coming down from above? Got any idea what that could be?
Astral energy.
Are you serious? All of that is astral energy? But that...
It's a lot for sure. Not even all the astral energy harvested by every lord combined compares to that column.
They're trying to squeeze every last bit of energy out of the planet.
But why? I thought they only needed to harvest astral energy as part of the crown contest.
Who cares? If we don't stop it now, the whole of Dahna is going to be hollowed into oblivion.
Oblivion.
Do you think that red woman is behind this?
It certainly wouldn't surprise me. Just as the Sovereign, the Maiden, and all 5 Master Cores are gathered in one location, she appears out of nowhere bearing a 6th core. She then forces the 2 of you to help her assemble the Renis Alma. Just what kind of person is this woman?
You mean you don't know her?
Pardon?
She was there at your palace, wasn't she? I figured you knew who she was.
Are you saying I should be familiar with this woman?
Well, sure. I remember seeing her with you back at Adelina Palace several times. Everyone in the guard always wondered who she was.
Now that you mention it, I remember seeing her with Balsif, too. You saw her, right, Shionne? Shionne?
Oh, sorry, I drifted off. As far as I remember, the first time I saw her was when we ran into her in Pelegion.
Seriously? How could you two not notice her before? She sticks out like a sore thumb.
I guess I always figured she kept an eye on the lords for the Renin top brass.
You're sure you don't remember ever seeing her before?
I'm certain of it. My memory has never failed me.
But if it's not that, then...
We'll get to the bottom of this later. Right now, that wedge is a bigger concern.
Well, what are we gonna do then? We're not gonna be able to leave Ganath Haros until we come up with a plan, right?
Cislodia lies beyond the northern mountain range.
Yeah, but we haven't found a single route through those mountains while we've been here. And we haven't gotten clues from any of the freed locals either.
Surely there must be a way through. This realm can't have been completely isolated from the rest of the outside world for 300 years. Volron may have simply sealed and hidden it.
Okay, then let's try asking the townspeople again if they know anything. Who knows? We might have missed something the first time around.
Sounds good to me. Better that than trying to build a boat from scratch. Let's start searching.
That must be Rena's true power.
I imagined there would be something, but not to this extent.
I bet the whole of Dahna's losing its mind right about now.
And just when we'd finished liberating all the realms. So much for things getting somewhere close to normal.
It's too calculated. As if whoever's behind all this was watching us.
The people of Pelegion seem pretty unfazed given the circumstances.
They've yet to get the full range of their emotions back. Maybe it's for the best. Can you imagine the panic otherwise?
Yeah, we wouldn't have been able to leave, that's for sure.
Whatever Lenegis is planning, it's a fair bet this wedge they've sent down is just the beginning.
Even now, they're stealing away Dahna's astral energy as we speak. Come on. We don't have much time.
Hey, when that wedge dropped down on Dahna, did anyone else see any...
mountains exactly?
Those are the mountains you encounter if you walk deep enough into the Lavtu marshlands.
Yeah!
That...
Armored soldiers!
Some of Volron's former guards.
Let's take them out quick before things get messy.
Oh, glory unto Volron!
Lay down your arms, and no one has to get hurt.
Silence! Traitors like you shall never walk free!
I knew you were stubborn, but you don't have to be so damn dramatic.
Magic is in here!
Ignore it! Lightning
I'm ready! I never let it be! Magic is holy land!
Save you!
Astral arts?
That's my cue!
Can't get out of this!
Shut him down!
I'm ready! Come on!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade! On your knees!
Dance
The
in the wind!
freezing
You're mine!
Sleep now!
It's over!
Resonate with the art!
Lightning Warrior!
One at a time! What's with the hole here?
It doesn't look like it's freshly dug. What? Everything all right?
Oh,
The heavens must be smiling. This place is rather gloomy.
why don't you lighten the mood for us while we're here then?
I'll s- Tell me, Alphen, wherever did you learn how to wield a sword?
I was wondering the same thing too, actually. I'm guessing you knew how to fight before you met the Crimson Crows, right?
I used to be a soldier who served a Dahna master. I never saw the guy's face, but I still fought for him because he was my employer. Looking back, it wasn't all that different from being a slave.
A Dahnan master? That must have been before the Renans brought you to Lenegis 300 years ago.
You must fight using real Dahnan techniques then.
Really? We used to have our own sword arts?
There's a lot of our own history we've lost since the Renans first invaded. It's not all magic and art. I'm sure it includes things like sword styles too. It's incredible and also a little surreal to see those arts still survive after all this time.
Not only that, but I first learned these moves while serving one ruler, only to end up turning my sword on the ruling class altogether. Pretty ironic when you think about it.
I apologize if I dredged up unfortunate memories for you.
Nah, we're good. It's in the past now. All we ever did in those days was stir up trouble.
You're using those skills for a good cause now. It's not all bad.
I suppose this is what people mean when they say that every cloud has its silver lining.
Exactly. He's using those sword skills to make the world better. Could be a lot worse.
True enough. I will stop worrying about mentioning it then.
Dohalim's fighting style is... what's the word I'm looking for? Subdued? No...
Do you mean elegant, perhaps?
Yeah, that's the word. For better or worse, you can definitely tell he's cut from posh Renin cloth.
And he's not just skilled with the staff either. He can also use astral arts, including healing ones. I can see how he made it to the position of a lord.
You flatter me, but my fighting techniques merely come from a style that aims to conserve energy by minimizing body movement.
Is that why you wait until the last second before you dodge attacks? To avoid unnecessary movements?
No, I do that to sharpen my senses. I find that doing so is an effective means of drawing out my innermost strength.
Oh yeah, I've noticed you look stronger and strike out with your rod more after you dodge attacks. Guess that's why.
Still, it's a risk. Don't you ever worry you'll dodge at the wrong moment?
Then, it'll be just as well.
Huh?
It's nothing. Let us continue.
No wonder we couldn't manage to find them. They've been holed up here all this time, hiding.
The remnants of Volron's forces. You think they were planning an ambush on Pelegion?
Possibly. Then again, knowing how blind their devotion is, maybe they were just waiting.
Waiting? For Volron, you mean?
Even though we already defeated him? But yes, I suppose you're right. For these guys, that would just be a technicality. They act more like worshippers than subjects. They're probably still in denial that he was overthrown in the first place.
Either that, or they were biding their time until the next crown contest. Either way, their allegiance is to their lord.
Who they're convinced and expectant will return. So in the meantime, they wait patiently in preparation for the day that he finally does. That's way more than just loyalty. It's no less than total subjugation.
Hey, look at that enemy! It's shining! I've got a really bad feeling about this!
We've turned the tables on him.
There are still more left!
Right. No time to hold back.
Where you stand.
Here's the evil!
Pressure! Demon Fang! Demon Fang!
Stalagmite!
Destruction!
Hey, I'm pretty lucky.
You've noticed it, haven't you?
Notice what?
I'm referring to Shionne.
I never thought you, of all people, would come to me about her.
Yes, well, what concerns me has more to do with what machinations may be currently unfolding in secret on Lenegis as we make our way along this tunnel.
And you're saying it's related to Shionne in some way?
Perhaps. She believed there was a good possibility that the Renis Alma may free her from her thorns. One would think after losing the Renis Alma, she would be more dismayed, and yet she isn't. Why? There's also the matter of the power that she inherited from...
You heard what she said. She didn't know about the Maiden's power.
Mere ignorance does not preclude her deep connection to the events unfolding around us. You recall when her thorns went rampant in Castle Delpharis. I've never seen dark astral energy manifest in such a way.
I thought you said all Renins had dark astral energy inside of them.
Correct. However, what Shionne exhibited was far beyond what any ordinary citizen could ever possibly possess. And let me be clear. I do not intend to cast doubt on Shionne or her motives. Nevertheless, I cannot shake the feeling that there's more to all of this than what we currently know. Do you disagree?
It's obvious that people used to go through here in order to get to the realms.
You think Volron really did seal it off to keep it hidden then?
Seems like it. Those soldiers we encountered might have known about it, chosen to hide up.
Out of our way!
Take that! Soaring light spear! Dragon form!
Mine!
I can carve through them! I'm ready!
Now I see everything!
This one's all mine!
Sweet dreams!
Freaks! Why can't they just
You
sit
fight better at a distance.
Shionne,
The
can you
further
take care
away,
of
the
them?
better. No, you and I both.
The enemy wields arts too.
You'll soon see about that!
No further!
As impressive as always.
Here I hope so.
No, I mean you're even better than ever.
I've never seen Shionne actually look flustered.
A freezing storm! Divine!
I'm ready! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
We seem to have come across something a little unusual.
Well, looky here!
I see supplies and other signs people were living here. Even Zoogle cages.
Get lost!
Grant me the strength to march on! Lion, I'll take you all off! Pierce through! Sword rain out!
They may look cute and stuff, but they're vicious! I never miss!
Here I come!
Pesky airborne scoundrels!
Sounds like a job for yours truly!
Hurricane thrust!
Lightning condemned!
Resonate with the earth!
I can do all that!
On your downfall!
Leave the enemy's arts to me!
Do it!
No complaints here!
Hit! Blah, 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 Thunderblade! You get the
Ah!
Here I go!
I think carve through armor!
Far enough! Spread!
You attack without lurking.
Because I can't afford to hesitate.
Not against a worthy opponent. Only the best materials in your garments.
You really do have quite the discerning eye, Dohalim.
Yeah, they all kind of look the same to me.
I found some equipment.
Let me take a look at it.
I've got a really bad feeling about this.
Rising Wyvern! In a bind, Rising Falcon!
Are those arms even natural?
The flame inside me! Resonate with the earth! Rising Prepare to defeat! In an instant! Impact block!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Discourteous, aren't you?
You're mine! Come one, come all!
This one's mine!
Another incantation ruined.
Swirling Alpha! Blew away!
Flame! Reload!
Take this!
Ready and water! Hear my call!
This one's all mine!
Spread!
Leave the charges to me!
On your knees!
May 1,000 gales tear you to shreds!
Resonate with the earth!
Stalagmite! Small, but a victory nonetheless.
We have a long way yet to go.
That equipment should come in handy.
How much do they have to steal from us to be satisfied?
What's that thing's purpose, anyway? Some kind of siphon that sends the astral energy the Lords harvested to Lenegis?
Not as far as I'm aware. That said, It has become evident since the forming of the Renaissance, as well as other recent events, that my insight may be thin. I would, as I believe the saying goes, take what I say with a grain of salt.
No, Halim.
At the very least, I believe we can assume that whoever is pulling the strings behind the scenes has had this in the works for quite some time.
Why's that?
The people on Lenegis may have plenty of resources at their disposal, but not even they could prepare something like that in a mere month. Something of that magnitude takes considerable time, as well as a predetermined goal in mind.
Then what was the crown contest for?
At this stage, I think it was but one step in the greater scheme we see unfolding before us. What that scheme is exactly, I haven't a clue. For now, I believe we should keep moving. The path continues. It's quite possible it will take us all the way to Cislodia.
Agreed. Let's keep moving.
So Shionne's thorns are dark astral energy.
Rinwell. Are you...
Come to think of it, what happened to those 4 lights that fell from Lenegis along with the wedge?
All 4 of them scattered in different directions. It's anyone's guess where on Dahna they might have landed.
I'm not entirely sure, but it seemed like those lights may have all been different elements of astral energy.
So even though they're using the wedge to siphon off energy from Dahna, they're shooting it back down to Dahna as well? Why?
I don't know. It all happened so suddenly.
Hopefully it's not a sign of some new threat we'll have to deal with.
But if that red woman has anything to do with the wedge, then what could that light...
It's weird, isn't it?
Oh?
The Red Woman. Shionne and Dohalim said they'd never seen her before Pelegion.
Are you saying they're lying to us?
No, it's not that I think they're lying, just... there has to be some reason for it, right?
Well, one thing the 2 of them have in common is that they're both Renins.
Okay, you two. Put a pin in it for now. I know that we're in the dark about a lot, but for now, let's focus on getting through these mountains.
Yeah, of course.
Coming through! Okay, here I go! You're on! Orochi Fury! Okay, armor won't save you!
A comfortable win.
An opponent like this should be easy.
Rising
Falcon! Lightning Thrust!
Do it!
Rising Falcon! Be careful, everyone. This one isn't normal. Try harder!
Pesky airborne
You picked the
scoundrel.
wrong fight!
Sounds like a job for yours truly!
Denied!
Seal!
Too fast!
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
Why'd you heal me? I thought you were going to wreck the place. I'm not nearly finished yet.
Then I'll provide assistance however I can.
Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang!
I'm ready!
Demon
Now,
Fang!
Kizara! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Small, but a victory nonetheless.
We have a long way yet to go.
It sure got cold all of a sudden after we passed the peak.
Law,
Yeah, we're getting close.
Gotta break through!
fires of passion courses this way!
Damn it! Take this! Here I come! It's over! Tear! Rising Phoenix!
I can shatter any steel!
The flame
you
inside
going?
me yearns to be let free! We've got fires!
I've got it! Let Marshman handle it!
Not today! All yours!
Don't mind if I do!
Aqua Serpent!
Freezing
You're
storm!
mine!
Vanquish
Demon
darkness!
Fang! Double Demon Fang!
Looks like it could be worth something.
Little help!
No further! Rising Wyvern!
Where are you going?
Soaring Light Spear!
Fall into the...
Your wings won't save you from me!
Armor won't save you!
Water!
I'm ready!
Nice. No scratches on my shield or my armor.
Retreat if you know what's good for you.
Burn!
Glacial Spear!
Take this! We did it!
As impressive as always.
And here I hope I was included.
No, I mean you're even better than ever.
I've never seen Shionne actually go
Shionne,
faster.
can you take care of that?
No sooner said than done.
Rising Falcon! We turned the tables on it.
There are still more left.
Right. No time to hold back. Negative gate. Rising Falcon!
Stalagmite!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood. The design of this equipment is really interesting.
You must really like it, Alphen.
We made it to Zildahna.
We need to get that bridge down somehow.
It looks like we can control it from our side. Let's take a closer look.
Are you okay, Law?
Oh, fine. Just thinking. The past is a real downer. That's why I'm focused on what's ahead of me. You?
Yeah. I'm going to stay the path. As long as we're all together, I know we'll be all right.
Same here. Now let's get moving.
Oh, good. We can cross through here.
Stop! Who goes there?
My name is Alphen. We're not your enemies.
Did you say Alphen? Slap me silly, it really is you!
Forgetting someone?
Rinwell! Oh, glad to see you're doing okay.
What are you guys doing out here?
We're patrolling the realm. Never thought I'd bump into you all on my rounds, though. Heck, enough of me, though. What's going on up in the sky? Feels like the world's gonna end.
That's what we're trying to figure out ourselves. And as it happens, got a big favor to ask.
I had an inkling that's why you'd come back, as soon as I saw you in the distance. So you beat all the lords, huh? Damn, you really must be a hero.
I just did what I had to. So can you send anybody to help Ganeth Heros?
I think we can help out. I'll hit up the other resistance groups and rustle up some support. I doubt they'll have a problem sending people once I mention it's you who's asking.
Thanks. If you guys can help out, that'll give us a chance to do something about that wedge out in the ocean.
Yeah, I think that's something only you guys can handle. Speaking of which, that thing's out in the middle of the ocean. How do you even plan on reaching it?
By boat. We're about to go look for one.
No rest for the weary, I see. Hey, what happened to that mask you used to wear?
It's a long story. Let's just say I lost it.
I sure never expected to run into Bregan. A boat, huh? Where are we gonna find one of those? It's not the kind of thing people just leave lying around.
Especially not Renans. For an Imperial power, they never have shown much interest in maritime expansion. Still, I dare say there should be the odd small vessel here and there.
All well and good, but that structure's slap bang in the middle of the ocean. A fishing boat won't cut it.
Let's just try to find one that won't sink us halfway out, yeah? Not that it needs to be a huge galley like Almadria's or anything.
Just as well, since we've passed, let's see, literally 0 huge galleys.
All I know is we have to reach that thing in the ocean. Anything that might work, I say we try it. Thanks to Bregan, it seems like Ganeth Heros should be in good hands, at least.
I wonder who they'll send to look after things. It'll be someone from one of the other resistance organizations, no doubt.
They could do a whole lot worse than someone like Doc. A knowledge of medicine would go a long way there.
Wait, do you mean the old guy back in Calaglia? Ganeth Heros would be one hell of a trek from there. He'd have to get here first.
My brother's old second-in-command, Legiel, would be a perfect fit, too. Pity she'll probably still have her hands tied up with work in Menancia.
Mahag Sar will be the same story. They won't have the manpower as it is, let alone enough to start exporting it.
Man, everyone's still struggling to get back on their feet, huh?
Knowing Bregan, he'll probably take things into his own hands. He seems like the kind of guy who enjoys a challenge.
Thinking back on it now, though, it does kind of make you realize just how many people we've gotten to know in each of the places we visited.
That's true. And each and every connection we forged is priceless. Anyway, we can trust Bregan to take care of things from here. Come on, let's focus on the task at hand.